And welcome to the Best of Quora with Ashley and Chris. I'm Chris.
I'm Ashley.
And today we're going to talk about some questions that were asked on Quora. I love going to Quora to find some of the best questions that job seekers are asking. A lot of really smart people out there and a really smart person answering these questions. So I'm going to ask Ashley what some things were that job seekers were asking that you should be thinking about for your job search. So, in your opinion, Ashley, what do you think is the most, probably like the best question you answered on Quora?
My favorite question that I answered was along the lines of what are some, unnecessary things that you think are harmless that are on a resume and which you should take off. And so my number one thing for that is hobbies and interests.
Okay.
You don't need them. They're not going to add any kind of value unless a lot of times a lot of other countries may ask these. So right now we're focusing on American U.S. resumes.
Yeah.
Not CVs. And so you want to take those off. They're not going to add any value. You can add them on your LinkedIn if you must, but on the resume, not at all.
Yeah, I think with LinkedIn, there's a lot more, I would say there's more tolerance to including like activities, interests, and things like that. But a resume, you really don't have much space and you don't have much time to capture someone's attention. So I think that might detract away from it. Do you think there are any instances where it might be okay, I guess, to include a hobby?
I think if it is relevant to what you're doing. So let's say, for instance, you're in the medical field, the nursing field, and your hobby is maybe you volunteer with Red Cross during like hurricane relief or something. It's not necessarily a hobby, but it's something that you did kind of on the community service, which I also say shouldn't be on a resume. You can incorporate that because it's relevant to your job search.
Okay, great. What was another interesting question that was asked on Quora?
Another interesting question was, what is the first thing that employers notice when you're looking at a resume? And I said, one is going to be the length. You don't want to give them a 10-page document, a 5-page document, not even a 3-page document.
If I tell you how many resumes I've gotten that were like 6 or 7 pages, I would it's not good.
I actually got a 12-pager this week for one of my clients.
Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
Shed a tear, a physical tear.
You actually started crying. I'm going to cry for you tonight.
Yeah, it was a lot. So definitely keep it concise. As a sales pitch, you want to have everything, in a small condensed order. I always suggest doing a summary of qualifications. I know that's something that Let's Eat Grandma promotes, and that's a few sentences at the beginning saying who are you, so designate what position you're applying for, your background, some skills, saying these are my 3 skills, this is how I have achieved success in my industry with this capacity. And then one last thing, saying, you're a leader or something that you're passionate about. So you're passionate about leading people, you're passionate about medical technology or what have you. So that should be the last line.
Love that.
So right off the bat, an employer knows who you are, what you bring to the table, and why you're applying for this job.
I think a lot of job seekers, as they're applying for jobs, forget, especially if they're career changers, they forget to include the why of why you're applying for a certain job or why you're in the industry that you're in. Is it just for the money, or is there some underlying solid reason of why you belong in that industry?
Exactly.
So,
and that's different than the objective statements that say seeking a job, saying this. It's not that should be nixed right off the bat. But this is a passionate about this industry and this, not seeking a position.
Why does the objective statement belong off your resume?
It belongs off your resume because it's a little too direct almost, and saying this is really the only reason I'm applying for this job because this is what I want, this is how much money I want.
And if it's like the first sentence in the resume,
exactly,
too, it's like, come on.
It's a turnoff.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Last question for you is, I think there was another question that you answered on Quora that people on this video should be listening to right now. What was that question, and what did you say?
It had to do with why isn't my resume being looked at by big tech companies? These big companies that, obviously are going to use that ATS tracking system. Thousands of people are applying. Why isn't my resume going through? And that goes back to the keywords. So you want to make sure that, the job posting is your best friend at the end of the day. So take it, highlight, the top keywords that you see in there, the different skills they're looking for. Make sure that that's in your resume, peppered throughout. So have a skills section, put in the summary of qualifications, and then in your content, put it in there as well. Now, don't overdo it. Don't put 50 skills. That's a lot.
Though keyword stuff the crap out of
Exactly.
your resume. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what I like to do for skills is I categorize them. So let's say, for instance, you are applying for an IT position. You can categorize it. So the first one would be, IT operations. That would include software development, implementation, automation, yada, yada, yada. The next one may be if you're applying for like a project manager position within IT. The next category would say leadership. So that's project management, team management, training and development, different leadership skills within. And then the third one would be technical. So that's where you list, Java, Python, R, what have you. And so they're categorized. You only put about 10 to 15 total. And then, but you have it categorized so when they're looking at it, it's not just all of these keywords. It's separate.
Awesome. Well, Ashley, any final words of advice you would have for people who are watching this video?
No, just, keep at it. I know it's a lot. Keywords are a lot. ATS is a lot. But keep at it and you'll get there for sure.
Awesome. Well, this concludes our very first, we haven't thought up of a name, so you guys help us come up with a name. We call it Best of Quora with Ashley and Chris. So we're going to keep these going out just week after week, and just a very informal video of us answering great resume questions. We want to hear the resume questions from you, so if you're watching this on LinkedIn or whatever, just either leave a comment below or above, depending on the platform. And or just leave us a direct message on any one of these platforms. We just love to hear what you're asking, and we'll answer it for you. So, cool?
Cool.
All right. I'll see y'all next time.
Nice.